Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is actually a study related video which is really highly requested. I don't know why. Now that SPM had ended, really thought, how do I study? How did I manage my time? So I jot down some of the, it's not a tips, I don't want to call it a tip. I prefer calling it the way I study. Some of it might work for you, but some of it might not work for you. It's different for everyone. Also, make sure you stay till the end of this video because I'll be sharing with you some websites where I studied online. Make sure you stay tuned for that because that will be very helpful if you take Ymx+C and Bahasa Melayu. Let's just get started with the video. Now, the first thing that I do every year is to create my own study timetable. Now for me, I study a subject per day. I don't do 2 subjects a day. That's too much for me. So basically what I do is, every beginning of the year, you get a timetable, right? A class timetable. So I'll analyze the timetable and then I'll choose what day to study what subject. Now for example, on Monday, I chose science because there's 1 hour of science. What is this? Is this even the timetable? Tuesday, I'll most probably go for accounts because that's 1 hour. I'll choose the longest period, you know what I mean. Like the more time I spend on it, I'll choose that day. You get it, right? You get the flow, right? So yeah, basically 1 subject per day. That is how I study. But I'll take Ymx twice a week. Choose a subject that you are really weak at and just do it twice a week. I don't do English and Bahasa Melayu. Next thing is actually I make my own notebook. Now I have a few here as example. This is actually like the most important thing ever for me. It all started during Form 3. I sat for my PT3, right? Kemahiran Hidup was like my worst subject ever. I was so bad at it. I get D all the time. After doing this, I eventually got an A for my PT3.
Eventually.
And the trials. After that, I did all my notebooks every year. What I mean by notebook is, as you can already see, I just jot down those that I always forget. On the day of the exam, I was just holding this. I was just relying on this and it really did help me a lot. So basically, whenever I do activity books and stuff, whenever I get wrong for a question, I will just like jot it down in my notebook. Those that are not in the textbook or the note that my teacher gave, it's all in here. I'll show you my Form 4 and Form 5 one. Some like this. But I don't really use this that much. Now for this book, I really did separate it according to subject. Okay, how I do it? Even for science, things that I always forget and random notes that are not in textbook or the note that my teacher gave, all will be in here. Of notes that I make. I'm pretty sure everyone does this. Okay, now this is my Sejarah folder, aka my bed. Like seriously, whenever I notice that one piece of the paper inside here is missing, I'll go crazy because the hard work. So I started doing this last year, January. You actually still have time, so please don't be lazy and do what I do here. I'm not forcing you to. I've never like get A minus or a B for my Sejarah. After doing this, I actually got an A plus.
Eventually.
I don't know about SPM, don't talk about SPM, SPM is shit, okay? For my midterm and my trials, I got A plus. I was like, what? I was so shocked. I feel like, wow. Okay, stop talking about myself. What I'm doing here is chapters that I always can't remember. I know it's very tough to remember all the chapters, but choose those that you really can't remember. I'll give you an example. Chapter 1 and 2 from 4, the Tamadun, will always get mixed up. So what I did here, which eventually helped me,
eventually,
I'm gonna show you chapter 2 of Form 4. This is what I do. This really takes a lot of hard work. You really need to put in a lot of effort in this. So yeah, and please do it yourself. Don't print it out. If you print it out, it doesn't mean anything to you, you know. If I didn't write this, I don't think I'll care much if they are gone missing. So please write it if you really want to do this kind of notes. Basically, I'll take a main title at the center. For example, Latar Belakang Tamadun. Okay, and then I'll split it. Yunani is over here, Rome is over here, India is over here, China over here. It goes the same for every subtopic. All place it at the same position. And when you read, you can immediately see the difference. You won't get mixed up. Because before this, I always get mixed up between like Yunani and Rome and stuff. So after doing this, I can literally, Yunani, this is the one. Rome, this is the one. When you separate it like this. If you are like really familiar with the paper, you can really imagine it, picture in your head. Yunnan is this side, okay, what are the notes, you know? Even during exams, right, I can imagine like this whole thing is on my mind. I can see where are the notes. I know it doesn't make sense, but if you always read these notes, right, and notes that you write yourself, you know what I mean. So that is what I did. If you're not taking Sejarah or anything, any subject, just do it like this. It'll be very, very, very helpful. Another thing, if you think these are like too big, right, I also use these small notes, colorful notes. There's this one specific one for names, only names. You know how we need to memorize every single name, you know, for safety? Every single tokoh's name from chapter 1 to chapter last chapter, from 1 to from 4, right? For me, I'll browse through like from page 1 to the last page. All the names that I get, I'll write it all here, like chapter by chapter, and what do they do, what's their contribution. And this is how I did it. I'll try doing this way, and then every time before school starts or anything in the car, just hold it and read it. It really does help. Start from now. Don't wait till last minute. That won't work. Although I did this like around October. Around the mid-October, because of the shit, I can't remember the names, so I just quickly wrote them and I read it every time. So I still managed to memorize this, even though it's like pretty late. I'm always brave to ask questions. Like at the spot, if you can't remember, just ask. Sometimes I ask too much question, but if you don't understand, just keep asking. If you still don't understand, just say, "Teacher, I really don't understand." Do like those cute faces a bit lah. Just ask. If you don't dare to ask your friend to ask. The next thing is just go out and have fun. If you're scared that you feel guilty, like I always do, just bring a book along. Don't always stay at home and study. When I always go out, I'll feel guilty and it makes me want to study even more. So that is what pushes me to go and study. So that is how I do it. If you feel uncomfortable sitting at your study table, just move around. Like I prefer coming to my balcony and sit on this chair in a very weird position, just to memorize some of the things. I always change my position, sitting position, change my study location. I always study in the kitchen or the sofa. I always change. I always walk around. Just do not be too serious. You get stressed. I always plan ahead. What I mean by plan ahead, wait, let me drink water. I'm so thirsty. When I'm waiting for my school bus, my head will be thinking right away, okay, when I reach home, I'm gonna study. I'm gonna start studying at 2 or maybe 3. I'll give some time for myself to rest. I'll study at 3. I'm gonna study till 6. I'm gonna rest till 7, and I'm gonna study again. I'm constantly thinking, you know. A tip from me, this is like an actual tip, is to put a clock in front of you all the time. Always see me studying with a clock in front of me. Eventually it became a habit. I wanted to pressure me to study. You know, whenever I play my phone, I just don't look at the time, you know, but that clock is like my mother. When the clock is in front of you, you will see how fast is the time going. For me personally, I feel like the time is really going super fast. And when I'm doing my work, I always time myself. Okay, 3:30, I'm gonna go and rest. 4 o'clock, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. The clock is constantly there. Even now, I can't study without a clock. Not the clock on your phone, like the actual clock. Next, phone usage. To be honest, sometimes I also can't control myself. What I do is, for example, I come back from school and I must start studying at 3. When the clock reach 3, I will immediately off my phone. I don't care what am I doing, I will just off it. I'll put it under my drawer. And also, since I'm a lazy person, when I go up to bathe, I'll bring my phone upstairs. After bathing, I'll check my phone like for 10 minutes. I'll leave it up here. I won't bring it down because I'm a lazy person and I will definitely not come upstairs just to take the phone. Okay, also sometimes I will also pass my phone to my mom. I'll say, please help me to look after my phone. Don't let me use it. So I'll just give it to her. I don't take naps for more than 30 minutes. I don't. Actually, I only take naps for 10 minutes. Actually, we only need 10 minutes of nap to freshen us up, to wake us up completely. So now I'm going to show you some of the websites that I use for online studying or activities or anything. The first one is this Ymx+C YouTube channel. The YouTube channel name is this. I actually don't know how I found him. I think I was searching up like how to do this, how to do that. After that, his channel came. When he explained things to me, I can really understand. From no knowledge at all of that chapter, I became like, whew, I can do this. And also, he also discussed those past year questions on his channel. Next is a Bahasa Melayu channel. It's called Cikgu Sugus. He also did Save My Karangan for SPM. I watched almost all of his video. Cool intros to use, strong Malay word to use, like all those kind of stuff. Go and check that YouTube channel out as well, very helpful. Those are like my online teachers. I will leave some links in the description box as well to those websites where I did those questions, past year papers. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below by sharing to everyone else about your personal tip. If you have any specific way of studying, just share it in the comment section down below. Help each other out because that will be good. Give this video a thumbs up if you find it helpful. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you are new here. That will mean a lot to me. Just click that subscribe button down below. Check out my previous video if you haven't already. Check out this sketch that I did last day of SPM. Ooh, are you curious of last day of SPM? And also check out my study room tour. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!